let's get to our Paul Robeson Negro of the Week Award. This is your first time. The Paul Robeson Negro of the Week Award goes to the loudest and most dangerous Negro on the planet. Okay? These are for the people who are doing extraordinary things and like really crafting new blueprints and executing new blueprints in real life, so much to the fact that like I can be proud of you for a little while. Now, we've had some maybe I have to go back and demerit some of these Paul Robeson Negroes of the Week, because Deion Sanders, I don't know what happened to you, baby. Wallow, I don't know what happened to you, baby, but something happened, man. We maybe you didn't get the flowers from the Paul Robeson Negro of the Week because y'all niggas went white and left. But that's all right. This week's Paul Robeson Negro of the Week is someone that we lost very recently at 83 years old. I think it was announced yesterday that Tina Turner has passed away after struggling with illness in the final, I think 2 or 3 years of her life. In 2021, she was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as an individual 30 years after she was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as part of the Ike Turner Band. So many things to say about Tina Turner. And to be honest with you, Tina Turner, her solo career exists in a time when we haven't truly recapped that history. And that's the 80s. The 80s and the early 90s. My favorite stat is that Paula Abdul and Lionel Richie had the most number one hits between 83 and 89 or 86 and 89 or something like that. But you don't hear about them niggas at all today. Why? Because the current cultural zeitgeist of what we consider to be history is, I think, at like 1975, 74, if we want to keep it tight. We haven't gotten to a place where we're truly recapping the 80s. The first movie that I could see that's the first modern movie that I could see that started to touch on the recap of the 80s was Straight Outta Compton, which I thought that would be the introduction. And we're starting to see that with, I think there was a Queen movie, there was an Elton John movie. Yeah. So we're starting to see that with our white folks. Black people started the trend, but we're starting to see that with white people as well. And they're going to do another movie about Tina Turner. We've seen the movie about Tina Turner in '93 that was about her survival. Mm-hmm. But I haven't seen a movie that really truly encapsulated the musical influence that was, or the cultural and iconic influence that Tina Turner was. So let's play this clip real fast, because she says a couple of things in here that I think are loud and dangerous. But because she was a black woman in 1997, nobody really paid attention.
Yeah.
No, I have left America because my success was in another country. And my boyfriend was in another country. And yeah, Private Dancer was the beginning of my success in England. And basically Europe has been very supportive of my music.
More than America?
Yes. Yes, hugely.
Hugely more?
Yes.
But you're a major star here. You're a superstar in America.
Not as big as Madonna. I'm as big as Madonna in Europe. I'm as big as, in some places, as the Rolling Stones.
In Europe?
In Europe.
So you chose to live there. And you didn't choose England, though. That's where.
Yes, I did. I went to England for a couple of years. And then I met a man, and I lived 3 years with him in his country in Germany. And then I bought a house in the meantime in the south of France, and I started to rebuild that. So I'm in and out of there. That's not a place where I can go often.
Where's home?
Zurich.
Why Zurich?
Because my boyfriend was moved there to run the company, and I always wanted to go to Switzerland, and I was very happy.
Is your boyfriend going to be your husband, or it's permanent boyfriend?
It's good like it is.
You like it like it is?
Yes.
What company does he run?
EMI.
Oh.
Everyone says that.
Well, you could take 12 years off. Right? Tina, he don't need you. Right? I mean, think about this. This has got to be love.
Well, 10 years of it.
This is no small time. This
Well,
is not Ike, right?
Who?
Speaking of that, do you realize that, someone said this, do you realize that you are a feminist hero in America? Heroine?
Your wife just told me that.
No, do you realize that?
I'm beginning to. You see, it wasn't something that I planned. I kind of see it as a gift because of the life I lived. It had a meaning. And I think that the meaning was all of what is happening now. I think that if I had not given the story to the world, maybe my life would not be as it is. I believe.
So you are aware or not?
Now I'm becoming more and more aware.
Going public with that story, was that difficult?
Yes, because I had had a lot of violence. Houses burned, cars shot into, like, the lowest that you can think of in terms of violence.
I think that interview was in 97.
Yeah.
I think this interview was in 97. There are so many blueprints that Tina Turner outlined in that, I think, 3-minute clip right there. I have a friend. We met up not too long ago. I think I told you this recently. I have a friend who, when she was tired of her career, she was like, fuck it, I'm moving to Thailand. Got rerouted, ended up in Mexico. How you end up going from Thailand to Mexico still confuses me. And also the thing, when I asked her, I was like, so you were between a choice of changing careers or leaving the country? And she looked at me like so matter-of-factly like, yeah. And it was in that moment, there are several moments where I recognize that my feet are stuck in the mud, or I feel like my feet are stuck in this mud that is America. But when I hear women specifically say, I was in a situation where I was with a choice, where I could either do one thing and slightly improve my situation, or do another thing and drastically change my whole life. I didn't know, this is gonna sound ridiculous, I didn't know you could just leave.
Yeah.
And she didn't come back. That's the other thing. Like, she didn't just like, oh, okay, I miss America. No. She didn't come back. She found where she was successful. She built a community in that place where she could be successful, and then she died in that place. That is so revolutionary to me. That is so, talk about questioning race, talking about questioning social caste. It's kind of like, if you continue to purposely be in this caste in a very physical sense, are you part of the problem? Are you perpetuating part of your own oppression? Ike who?
Right.
I don't know that nigga no more. Next question.
Right.
Tina Turner died yesterday. And that shocked me. But I'll tell you one thing that really shocked the shit out of me, sweetheart.
Yes, sir.
The women, all the black women who were posting about Tina Turner surprised me. Tina Turner is considered the queen of rock and roll. I don't consider black women to be rock and roll.
Can I say something?
Can you say something? Yeah, good.
Personally, I don't think that black women connect to her because of the music necessarily, but because of the things that she's been through and how she overcame, those difficult situations.
That's the exact point I was about to get to, sweetheart.
Right.
That's the thing that shocked me. I don't consider black women to be fans of rock and roll. They probably are. There probably is an abundance. And out of my ignorance, I have made that statement. But on a very general aesthetic situation, until Rico Nasty recently, I cannot think of black women who were embracing rock and roll culture. And there's two things wrong with that statement. One, if Tina Turner is the queen of rock and roll, then I do understand rock and roll.
Okay. Yeah.
What I don't understand is the whiteness that took away from rock and roll. There's another clip that I saw last night, and just looking up Tina Turner, she said she went to see Mick Jagger perform. And Mick Jagger got off the stage, and she said she was standing at the stage, and she said to Mick Jagger, she was just like, huh. And he was like, what? She was like, you look familiar. Meaning to say, like, you're doing my act.
Right. Yeah. I just thought about his hair.
Yeah. Mick Jagger is Tina Turner.
That's hilarious.
Right. The erratic movements, the shaking, the attempts to dance, the hair.
Wow.
Mick Jagger is Tina Turner. But in my head, when I made the statement of black women don't do rock and roll, the first thought I thought of was Mick Jagger, when it should have been damn Tina Turner. And, because I'm going to get to your point in a second. because there is two parts of this. I wouldn't say that black women necessarily connect with the music of Tina Turner until you realize they do connect with the music of Tina Turner. They don't connect with the aesthetic of rock that we have in our mind, right? But if Tina Turner performs like Tina Turner, and she is the queen of rock, and Beyonce performs like Tina Turner, is Beyonce rock and roll? Have we only, the famous conversation of like, we put black people in black music. So like she's been in R&B, and then when she's not in R&B, they consider her pop. And pop is the white version, I suppose. But like, Mike, are you there? I need a music theorist and historian, right? I'm just doing the math here. If a Tina Turner performance and music can sound very similar to the performance of a Beyonce, do I need to adjust my current working definition of rock and roll? Second part, Tina Turner was a winner. I learned this morning, divorces Ike, old story, whatever. I learned after she divorced Ike, when they said she only had her name, you know what I'm saying? In movies, when they say like, I can only give you this, they end up giving you like $50,000 somewhere, you know what I'm saying? You still making a little money, you still good. Tina Turner literally just had her name. Yeah. Baby was on food stamps. Yeah. And I've been on food. I know not only the lack of money that it takes to get on food stamps, I know that desperation. Right. I know what it takes to call up to that office, get in that line, stand in that queue, do that little demeaning ass interview, and get these food stamps. For them to tell you this is what it costs for you to live on the state. For her to go from that to selling her catalog to BMG for $80 million the year before she died, come the fuck on. That is a hero. Someone who saw the American caste system, who saw that their success should have been greater, that they should have had the pathways of a Mick Jagger. They should have had the pathways of Aerosmith. They should have had the pathways of any of these white-led rock and roll bands that are doing Tina Turner, but it didn't happen. It happened somewhere else. So you know what? I'm not going to stay here out of loyalty to this land. I have no loyalty to this land. I have loyalty to the people who love me. And that goes beyond borders. So I'm going to take my ass to Zurich. I'm going to build this estate. I'm going to make my 80 mil and I'm going to get up out of here. God bless Tina Turner. What a winner. Right. What a winner. Oh my goodness. Give it up for anime. God damn it. Right. You did that shit. You did that. You did that. You did that. And I see why black women attach themselves to that story, feel a part of that story. When the Me Too movement was on and popping, because it done died off now, unfortunately. But when the Me Too movement was on and popping, and those of us who were enlightened to look around and realize that most of the women around us, if not all of the women around us, had been abused in some sort, it broke our hearts. It really did. The advanced class of that thought, if you look at all the women who were celebrating Tina Turner, know that at the core of them is a heartbreak as deep as Tina Turner's. Mm-hmm. That should also break your heart. Your contemporaries feel the same pain that Tina Turner felt and are using that energy today to move on to the next. That shit is so inspiring. So our Paul Robeson Negro of the Week and so forth. Tina Turner, we appreciate you.
The best part of waking up is BeMo and the blood.